Now on Coast TV News.
More showers and storms on the way today. The main threat, heavy rain and the possibility of some flash flooding. Still unsettled heading into Friday, but then drier heading into the weekend. Forecast details coming up.
East Coast flooding. Delmarva not the only area dealing with rain issues, as several inches of water cause problems in places like North Carolina.
More land reform talks, the latest round in Sussex County, taking place today, where group members are looking for examples on better management.
Rehoboth Beach ballots. The key dates for the city's municipal election and the candidates vying for 2 commissioner seats.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And it is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Wild night last night.
It was.
We had that tornado warning to deal with. Woke me up.
Me as well. I think I woke up around 9:15 thinking it was my alarm to go to work. And then I looked at my phone and I was like, woke up out of my funk of being sleepy. And I was like, oh, okay. So luckily, though, I think everything was
we're not getting any reports of anything serious, so we're still tracking that. But Bob, we had a wild night, and we still have a wet morning to deal with as we turn to Thursday.
Yeah, it was another very active night. Good morning, Elisa and Matt. No reports of a tornado, although we had that tornado warning eastern Sussex County last night, and some wind damage reports eastern shore and near Westover, but I'll do a deeper dive into these a little bit later in the newscast. This morning, lots of clouds, still muggy. We have a few light showers around, nothing heavy, no threat for flash flooding. A few light showers around Goldsboro right now, and also maybe some sprinkles across Chesapeake Bay. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies this morning. There is a lot of cloud cover over us, and that'll be the case as we go through the day. I think that'll keep us cooler. The chances for big storms does go down too. And the stationary boundary that was a little closer to us, that was the focus for those heavy storms and flash flooding, is now a little farther to the north. So the focus for the heavy rain and flash flooding has now moved a little farther to the north. So we're not really concerned too much about super heavy rain today, but there is still an outside chance of it. With temperatures around 73 to 74 degrees out the door this morning, 72 in Ocean Pines, Salisbury 74, still very muggy. Dew points in the lower 70s, but they have come down a little bit in the past couple of days, so it's not nearly as oppressive. Futurecast this morning still can't rule out a stray shower. Grab the umbrella just in case, but we'll see a lot of clouds today. That'll keep us a little cooler, lower 80s by the noon hour, and still that chance of a few showers and storms into the early afternoon. Maybe some heavy rain with those and gusty winds, but not expecting severe weather. And temperatures not too bad into the mid 80s inland, maybe a little cooler at the beaches, and still that shower threat into the evening hours. Day part forecast has us mainly cloudy, and once again that storm threat, especially into the afternoon. Not expecting severe weather. Still unsettled Friday. It does dry out a bit into the weekend. More on your forecast coming up a little bit later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Bob. We look forward to that. We're now taking a live look at Lewis. The city was on the eastern part of the path. That was the area of concern during last night's tornado warning. Everything there looking calm right now. And our top story this hour is that Wednesday night weather situation. We have some video of viewer Karen Falk in Rehoboth Beach sent us of that storm. You can see thunder, lightning in the distance there, some heavy clouds. Focus of the warning, again, was that northeastern part of Sussex County.
And last night was the second notification like this in less than 2 weeks. The National Weather Service confirmed there was a tornado that touched down near Frankfort last week. This is some of the damage that a viewer, Tina Moore, sent us. This was her backyard from that tornado.
Yeah, North Carolina dealing with flash floods. This is video from Durham. The Wednesday night rain comes after Sunday's record-setting rainfall from Tropical Depression Chantal, with some areas there seeing more than 10 inches from that storm.
And today is the final day to register to vote in the August Rehoboth Beach municipal election. It is the next of several key dates this year. Absentee ballot requests must be filed by noon on August 8th, with Election Day taking place August 9th at the Convention Center. Eligible voters are people who live year-round in Rehoboth Beach, property owners, and leaseholders.
There are 3 candidates vying for 2 city commissioner seats, and none of the 3 are incumbents. According to his LinkedIn profile, Christopher Galante is a program manager for a technology company based in McLean, Virginia. Jeffrey Good is a retired federal employee and is the husband of current commissioner Suzanne Good. Susan Stewart is on the city's planning commission. The Rehoboth Beach Homeowners Association will host a candidate forum on Saturday, July 19th at the Rehoboth Beach Volunteer Fire Company.
Happening today, some Sussex County locals are pushing for a traffic light at a busy Sussex County intersection. According to State Representative Jeff Holofsky, traffic and safety on Route 24 is the focus of a meeting this morning with DelDOT. Representative Holofsky says the agency will discuss traffic mitigation strategies in the area where Route 24 meets Legion Road. This is especially important, according to Holofsky, due to the Peninsula Lakes development bringing more homes to the area.
Later today, more discussion from the Sussex County Land Use Reform Working Group to tackle the challenges from increased development. The group says past meetings have focused more on where to build affordable housing for some people living in Sussex County. The rate of development is a concern that could impact future generations.
We never want to tie the hands of the next generation and force them, if we sell our development rights and we say that land can only be farmed, that's all it can ever be done into perpetuity, then therefore we're forcing generations to come that they must farm.
And the group is also looking at examples from Kent County, where growth is occurring in just a few areas, where other parts are designated for open space.
New this morning, a milestone moment for the next generation of doctors at BB Healthcare. The healthcare company says today it will host its third annual White Coat ceremony. 4 new resident physicians will join the family medicine residency program at BB. The organization says over the next 3 years, they'll gain hands-on training in areas like emergency care, pediatrics, cardiology, and orthopedics.
And on Wednesday, Bay Health welcomed its new class of doctors. The healthcare organization says 37 new residents received their garments, and they will train in programs such as surgery, emergency medicine, and family medicine.
Tidal Health announced the creation of a new intermediate care unit at the Salisbury location. Organizers say it will better serve more stressed patients by working with the system's hospitals in Berlin and Seaford. Renovations for the new 28 beds in Layfield Tower have already started. We are told the PCU on 2 South will also be transformed into a permanent 18-bed observation unit in Salisbury.
You're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. This morning, global markets are reacting to President Trump's latest round of tariff threats. The president sent more letters to countries urging deals with the U.S. by August 1st.
As NBC's Alice Barr shows us, businesses are struggling to keep up with the tariff turmoil as consumers brace for the impact.
This afternoon or tomorrow morning.
President Trump reigniting trade tensions with a new series of letters to trading partners imposing tariffs from 20% on imports from the Philippines up to 50% on Brazil.
Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all.
The president acknowledging politics played a role in the hefty Brazil tariff, pointing to the prosecution of his ally, former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, for attempting to hold on to power after losing Brazil's 2022 election, calling the trial a witch hunt that should end immediately. President Trump has drawn parallels to his own criminal charges after losing the 2020 election that were dropped when he won in November. Brazil's current president saying the country will not accept being abused and will respond to the tariffs. As President Trump also said the U.S. has a trade deficit with Brazil, when the U.S. Trade Representative says it was actually a surplus for the U.S. last year. The president asked how his administration arrived at the new tariff rates.
The formula was a formula based on common sense, based on deficits, based on how we've been treated over the years.
The Senate's top Democrat slamming President Trump for not delivering on his promised 90 trade deals in 90 days.
He kicks the can down the road again and again. He talks a big game but shows little follow-through or strategic understanding.
As the president asserts setting tariffs by letter is a more efficient means to a deal. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And we're just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News today.
Yeah, coming up, Salisbury Airport accepts new grants. The plans to improve the major transportation hub on the Eastern Shore.
Also, Avello Editions will tell you how the company is expanding in Delaware.
And Riding Center reaches veterans. We'll show you how a program at Southern Delaware Therapeutic Riding is giving former servicemen and women physical and emotional relief. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Imagine walking around with pain, anxiety, not sure who you can trust. Sounds pretty terrible, right? Well, for many of our veterans who suffer from PTSD, that is the reality. And for all veterans in this area, there is a program at Southern Delaware Therapeutic Riding that aims to help our veterans combat those issues with a silent form of communication. Take a look.
Walk on.
John Dill spends his Fridays here at the Southern Delaware Therapeutic Riding Center off Harbison Road.
Good boy.
His partner?
Yeah, you're good.
Patches the horse.
You're supposed to stay right with me.
Their weekly training and walks.
Walk on.
A far cry from the way Dill spent a majority of his life.
I joined the National Guard in 1971. Spent 42 years. I had a tour in Iraq, in Baghdad. I suffer with PTSD, and sometimes my PTSD acts up depending if I get stressed out. And this experience has helped me control that.
John is just one of the veterans taking part in this 8-week program. Another already is scheduled for the fall. Veterans groom their horses, walk them,
size up. Good job using your body there.
And practice various exercises like these.
Yay, Izzy! Good job, Iz. It develops a bond and a friendship between the veteran and the horse that builds confidence, self-esteem. We've seen amazing connection happen from the start of the session where we've had veterans reach out when they've had a bad day to come see their horse. So that's a sign too that relationship that's been developed is helping that veteran through difficult times.
What you're seeing here is described as natural horsemanship. It's not about doing tricks or anything like that. It's about communication, learning what the horse is feeling, how to speak with them, work with them, and above all, build trust. The veterans I speak with here say that's not something that is left in this arena. That trust and communication comes with them every moment when they go home.
It makes me very calm because I have some issues with anxiety.
That's Angela LaRosa, an Army veteran and newfound friend to Brumbley. Has it helped you in your life outside of here?
Oh yeah, tremendously.
How so?
Assert my boundaries, letting people know what I'm not going to accept, being more a little bit outspoken instead of always feeling like I couldn't rock the boat. But if I can handle the horses, I can handle people.
In the military, we learn to try to keep our feelings to ourselves because that's who it is, and we have a mission. But the thing is, if you're really actually having a problem, you're not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting other people, and you've got to take care of yourself.
By taking care of Patches.
Good boy. Filthy.
John says he's taking care of himself in a way he just couldn't before.
I think that they're a special breed of an animal, and they need attention just like we do. They have feelings, and we have feelings, and I think that you can share those feelings with them, and they understand those feelings. They understand you.
The horses, not just teachers, but healers.
You love that head massage, don't you?
Four-hooved heroes serving these heroes who served our country.
Good boy.
For Coastal Connections, I'm Madeline Overturf.
Time is 5:18, and we are getting a live look at a cloudy morning there in Ocean City. Bob, we did have that warning last night. Right now, still haven't had any reports of any big damage from that.
Yeah, no damage as far as I could see, Matt. You know, that could change with the daylight, but as far as I can see, no damage, no official tornado spotted in that area on the storm report. We have had some wind damage reports from last night near Westover, Princess Anne, power line knocked down there at 8:40. And then farther to the north near St. Michael's, we had trees down there at 7:42. And then even farther north in Kennedyville, tree down there. Otherwise, we had quite a bit in the way of wind reports all the way from the Baltimore area down I-95 through D.C. and into Virginia as well. This morning, much calmer. We are seeing the clouds, a few light showers right now. Grab the umbrella just in case, a few showers around Riverview, south of Dover. Elsewhere, though, it's just mainly cloudy, still warm and muggy. Seeing some breaks in the overcast as well. And we are seeing quite a bit in the way of cloudiness over the top of us and back to the west as well. So with a cloud cover and that stationary boundary a little farther to the north, the chance of strong to severe storms has gone down a lot. You can see most of the storms and showers now are along that front across the northeast. Otherwise, we've got the cloud cover across much of the east, and that will be with us today. Out the door, 73 in Millsboro, 74 in Georgetown and Milton, 73 in Redmond. Still muggy out there with dew points in the lower 70s. With light winds, that'll be the case today. Here's Futurecast this morning. We have the cloud cover, a few light sprinkles, not a big deal, but those clouds were with us much of the day. By the noon hour, a few scattered showers, maybe some brief heavier rain with 70s and 80s, and we'll be into the mid-80s mid-afternoon away from the coast, so not as hot as recent days with some showers and storms. Any one of those could have some heavy rain and gusty winds, but not expecting the widespread activity like we had yesterday evening. Through the evening hours, a few showers and storms. Otherwise, I think we do dry out through the overnight, mostly cloudy. Could see some fog by Friday morning. Watch for that. 60s and 70s. And then through your Friday, once again, lots of clouds, mid-80s, and still that chance of a shower or storm. But it looks like it does clear out a little bit later in the day on Friday. Not expecting severe weather today, but we can't rule out some heavy rain with some of those storms as that front has lifted a little farther to the north, taking the instability and the storms with it, but still that outside chance of a shower or storm today through tomorrow, and maybe some localized flash flooding as we're moving through the afternoon with a few showers, maybe isolated showers and storms into Friday. Then we do dry out as we go into the weekend, maybe an isolated storm, especially inland, but all in all, I think a pretty decent weekend on the way. And as far as additional rain, maybe up to a ½ inch to an inch in a few places, but I think for the most part, the real heavy rain is done. Muggy meter still very humid to miserable as we go through the weekend into early next week, so no break from the high humidity. Paul, they have a 7-day forecast, mid-80s the next couple of days with some showers and storms, and then the weekend it does dry out. 87 Saturday, 86 on Sunday, mostly sunny. That's nice. I think a better chance of rain and storms again with a cold front Monday, and then drying out Tuesday and Wednesday near normal temperatures. And congratulations to Ernest Bailone from Lewis on winning a new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Thank you, Bob. New this morning, drivers in Salisbury may notice construction crews back at work this week, according to the city, after delays caused by recent poor weather. Storm drain maintenance along East Naylor Mill Road is set to resume today and tomorrow. You can see that location right here on your screen. The city says crews will be working between 8 a.m. and 4:30 each day.
Cambridge is urging drivers to avoid part of Cedar Street, and this is due to a sinkhole they say is impacting the intersection of Cedar and Peach Blossom Avenue and Cedar Street and Moreland Avenue.
Up next on Coast TV News today, Avello Editions will tell you how a new announcement from the airline company could impact your holiday travels. Don't go anywhere. It's never too early to start planning your holiday travel. Avello Airlines just announced it will be extending its flight schedule at the Wilmington Airport. Through mid-February 2026, travelers can book their flights from Wilmington to various locations in Florida, the Carolinas, and even Puerto Rico. And to see more locations, you can check out CoastTV.com.
One of Salisbury's bigger development projects is getting a lift. Maryland Governor Wes Moore announced grant awards for Business Ready Sites program. Salisbury Regional Airport is among the 6 projects across the state to receive money. $450,000 is earmarked to prepare land for new hangars, and Salisbury Airport also received a site characterization grant for a business park near the airfield.
New in Milton, the Chamber of Commerce is set to host a full day of family fun next month. Officials say Milton Memorial Park will come alive with annual bargains on the Broadkill Festival. The Irish Eyes kayak race will bring paddlers to the water for some friendly competition. And even more excitement, the duck race is back for another year. All of these events will take place on August 23rd, with the first event starting at 10 o'clock. And I think we'll be dodging rain today, so I don't know if going to the beach is the best option.
Bob, dare I say the worst beach day of the week?
Could be there. Could be pretty close, you know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those days you want to head to the stores, you know, do a little retail therapy. There will be showers and storms in Fenwick Island. Watch for vivid lightning, maybe some heavy rain at times. Mid to upper 70s there. UV index is moderate. There'll be a lot more cloud cover today. And Lewis, we're around 80 degrees with some showers and storms, and also for Rehoboth as well. Rip current threat is low, but if you are swimming, swim with a buddy or on a guarded beach. Cambridge today, lower 80s. The same for Crisfield. Lots of clouds, a few showers and storms, but I think the worst of the flood threat is behind us. Still a little unsettled through Friday, improving into the weekend. More forecast details in the next half hour.
And after the break on CoastTV News today, a land use group gathers. Will tell you how one group in Sussex County aims to tackle the challenges from increased development.
Also, Rehoboth Election Day deadlines, what voters need to know ahead of next month's municipal election.
And tornadoes too close together. We recap the severe weather events on the peninsula that have been taking place seemingly too close for comfort. CoastTV News today will be right back.
Now on CoastTV News.
More showers and storms on the way today. The main threat, heavy rain and the possibility of some flash flooding. Still unsettled heading into Friday, but then drier heading into the weekend. Forecast details coming up.
Concern in Carolina. While we dealt with a tornado warning, that part of the U.S. is hit with another round of heavy rain.
Rehoboth voting deadlines. One is today as the city moves closer to filling 2 commissioner seats in the upcoming election.
Development debate. The group in Sussex County tasked with land reform looks at other parts in the state for solutions.
This is CoastTV News Today.
July 10th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
It's 5:31 a.m. and have to say, woke up a bit earlier than I prefer with that tornado warning and then the thunder and lightning afterwards.
Woke up a little startled. Definitely not a calm wake up when you hear that alarm go off on your phone. I always sleep with my phone by my head, so I always hear my alarm. And
likewise, yeah.
That thing was loud, but luckily we woke up this morning, didn't see too much damage or anything severe.
We went into the basement, herded the cats. They were all cooperative, and we were all safe in the basement, Bob, as we turn our attention to Thursday and some more rain.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys followed the tornado safety rules. You have to find that interior room away from windows. No reports of a tornado, excuse me, or tornado damage last night, but we'll keep you updated if I see anything on Weather Chat or from the Weather Service. But we did see some of those wind reports from the eastern shore back to the west. We'll have more on that coming up. But right now, it's just lots of clouds, maybe a little shower on Bridgeville. The heavy activity is over as the instability, the atmosphere has calmed down a lot. Seeing a few showers near Dover and seeing some breaks in the overcast too. We're going to see a lot of clouds today, and I think the threat for severe weather has gone down drastically as the front that was responsible for the instability and the big storms has lifted farther to the north. And with cloud cover expected today, that will limit sunshine, which is another kind of fuel to the fire for storms, and that will go down today too. Temperatures out the door 72 to 74. We are looking at the muggy conditions persisting. That's really not going to change. So this morning we're looking at a lot of clouds. Watch for wet roads. Still a stray shower. Mid-morning upper 70s, and then we could fire up a few scattered showers and storms by the noon hour. Still could see some heavy rain, maybe some local flash flooding. Here's 2 p.m. Maybe a heavier storm near Dewey Beach. Otherwise, mid-80s. I think that'll be the maximum temperature with the cloud cover. And once again, still some afternoon and evening storms, but not to the degree like we had the last few days. A few showers this morning. I gave it the yellow light for the morning commute, and then a few more scattered showers and storms this afternoon. A lower chance of flash flooding, but definitely exercise caution as you drive home this afternoon and this evening.
Thank you, Bob. And we are now taking a live look at Lewis this morning. The scene here is after the aftermath of last night's storms that we experienced on the coast. It's a calm but cloudy scene right there. And it was just after 9 o'clock last night that we had a tornado warning. We have some video from a viewer. This is in Rehoboth Beach. They sent us that storm. You can see thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. And the focus of that warning was on the northeastern part of Sussex County.
Yeah, it was the latest in a wild stretch of weather we've been having. The tornado warning was the second tornado warning in less than 2 weeks. The National Weather Service confirmed there was a tornado that touched down near Frankfurt last week, and this is some of the damage to the backyard of Tina Moore from that tornado.
And while we were dealing with last night's warning on Delmarva, check out what is happening in North Carolina. A truck struck underneath a bridge. The flooding was on that road. It was higher than the trailer's wheels. The Durham area is saturated after Sunday's record-setting rainfall from Tropical Depression Chantal.
Today's the final day to register to vote in the August Rehoboth Beach municipal election. It is the next of several key dates this year. Absentee ballot requests must be filled by noon on August 8th, with Election Day taking place August 9th at the Convention Center. Eligible voters are people who live year-round in Rehoboth Beach, those who own property, and also leaseholders.
And there are 3 candidates vying for 2 city commissioner seats. None of the 3 are incumbents. According to his LinkedIn profile, Christopher Galanti is a program manager for a technology company based in McLean, Virginia. Jeffrey Good is a retired federal employee and is the husband of current Commissioner Suzanne Good. Susan Stewart is on the city's planning commission. The Beach Homeowners Association will host a candidate forum on Saturday, July 19th at the Rehoboth Beach Volunteer Fire Company.
Later today, we have more discussion from the Sussex County Land Use Reform Working Group to tackle the challenges from increased development. The group says past meetings have focused more on where to build affordable housing. The group is also looking at examples from Kent County, where growth is occurring in just a few areas, while other parts are designated for open space.
Happening today, some Sussex County locals are pushing for a traffic light at a busy Sussex County intersection. According to State Rep Jeff Holofsky, traffic and safety on Route 24 is the focus of a meeting this morning with DelDOT. Representative Holofsky says the agency will focus on traffic mitigation strategies in the area where Route 24 meets Legion Road. This is especially important, according to Holofsky, due to the Peninsula Lakes development bringing more homes to the area.
We are now taking a live look at the White House there in Washington, D.C. President Trump is unveiling his planned tariff rates for imports from 8 countries.
And those rates are set to start August 1st, even though yesterday was supposed to be his original deadline for trade deals.
As Amy Kiley shows us, the president is issuing an unusual demand to 1 country on his new list.
Imports from Brazil and 7 other countries could face double-digit tariffs August 1st, according to President Donald Trump.
It's going to be a great thing for our country. I think it's going to be a fair thing for the world.
These tariffs are a tax on American importers and American families.
Trump is threatening to force American businesses to pay a 50% duty on imports from Brazil. He calls the trial of former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro a, quote, witch hunt that should end immediately. Bolsonaro is a Trump ally who is accused of attempting a coup. Brazil's sitting president says his country is a sovereign nation that won't bow to Trump's demand. Instead, he's threatening retaliation. The U.S. has a trade surplus with Brazil, so that could hurt American exporters.
President Trump uses tariffs for all sorts of reasons, whether it's reshoring, the trade deficit, fairness, but definitely this is different.
Trump says he also has informed Algeria, Iraq, Libya, Moldova, Sri Lanka, Brunei, and the Philippines of upcoming 20 to 30% flat tariffs on their products.
The formula was a formula based on common sense.
Some experts say they'd prefer more extensive negotiations and more nuanced trade deals.
The fact that they essentially are doing letters also sadly speaks to really, this comes down to how the president feels that morning.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, tariffs could impact price increase. We'll tell you what one toy company says about the new fees.
Also, local business boost how Dover officials aim to help establishments with a warehouse currently under construction.
And a health update on the 76ers' top draft pick, plus an early look at the final of Into the Trenches. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
5:40 on a mostly cloudy morning. A few scattered showers out there. Right now, Ocean City, you're seeing the clouds, maybe a few peaks of blue right now, 74 degrees, and we are seeing lots of clouds and maybe a little sprinkle around Bridgeville. You might get a little bit of rain out the door. Otherwise, it's mostly cloudy skies. The weather has really calmed down with that stationary front well to the north. Lots of cloud cover today. That will knock down the chance of instability and the chances of severe weather and flash flooding, so that's good news. Out the door, 73 to 74 degrees right now. Still very muggy with dew points into the lower 70s. Heading out to the golf course today, not too bad, but make sure you bring the bug spray. I know I got bitten up recently, and a lot of water as well. So warm and humid, scattered showers and storms, around 84 degrees. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. Sponsored by Brockstead Mandalis Federico.
An update to a story we brought you on Wednesday. On your screen right now is the 1000th building of the Hollybrook Apartments in Laurel. That's where officers say shots were fired early Tuesday morning. And just before 10 a.m. on Tuesday, police spotted a suspicious vehicle that later matched the description from the shooting that they say happened Tuesday night. Inside were Tyja Jenkins and Rachel Sun-Charles, both wearing clothes matching witness accounts. Officers say Jenkins was driving under the influence. And a search turned up over 2 pounds of marijuana, 2 loaded handguns, and both men face multiple drug and weapon charges and are being held on cash bail.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
It all comes down to this. Tonight is the final episode of our docuseries, Into the Trenches, A New Voyage. The Vikings punched their ticket to the playoffs. Now they try to knock off the defending champs, Salesianum. Let's take a sneak peek into what episode 12 has in store.
On the next Into the Trenches.
They went up there as the 8th seed. Like, this can happen. We believe it, and we need them to believe it.
We showed what we could do last year. We went and won 2 games on the road.
If you put it all together and play your best game tonight, you will win.
I know some of these guys up here. I know what their intentions are. It's to embarrass you.
Play for an audience of one, whatever happens.
Into the Trenches, A New Voyage on the Delmarva Sports Network and DSN+, sponsored by Preston Automotive.
Moving over to hoops, 76ers guard VJ Edgecombe is still listed as day-to-day for Summer League action with a minor thumb injury. The 3rd overall pick from this year's draft scored 28 points in a loss to the Jazz over the weekend, but has missed 2 straight games. The Sixers return to the court tonight against the Spurs in the first day of the Las Vegas Summer League. Will Philadelphia have Edgecombe back? Only time will tell. Folks, that'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 7:30, catch another exciting episode. You just saw some of it there of Into the Trenches. Then at 8, IMG Blue takes on Keystone in boys basketball. At 10 p.m., it's that episode of Into the Trenches again. At 10:30, we have the final score. And on DSN Plus at 6 p.m., girls high school basketball at Crown Sports Center and Cape Henlopen boys high school soccer. At 6:15, Maryland Supreme boys basketball. And at 8 p.m., you can catch that IMG Blue versus Keystone boys basketball game.
Movie news now from a highly anticipated whodunit to the return of an Oscar-winning classic. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
The Impossible Crime.
A big international debut for Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. The 3rd film starring Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc is set to open the BFI London Film Festival October 8th. The film streams on Netflix December 12th.
Do you think there's anything wrong with your mind, really? Not a thing, Doc.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is flying back into theaters. The Oscar winner for Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Adapted Screenplay returns for its 50th anniversary, Sunday, July 13th and Wednesday, July 16th. Info at fathomentertainment.com.
J'ai mis une annonce pour recruter un employé de maison. Trop la classe. On dirait un British.
Je suis un British.
Oh, ça va pas être simple.
John Malkovich speaks French in Mr. Blake at Your Service. He plays a widowed British businessman who takes a job in a French countryside manor in remembrance of his late French wife. The limited release film expands to more markets throughout July and arrives on digital August 5th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Cloudy and calm this morning on the Tidal Health Cam. The U.S. flag just limp there because there's no wind, maybe a scattered shower possible this morning. But the threat for really heavy rain and flash flooding, I think, is behind us now. But still, that chance of a few showers and storms the next couple of days with a drier weekend, typical summer weekend on the way. Your forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 5:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. And Bob, looks like a more mild morning than we had last night. We had rain and storms, but I know today there could be some pop-up storms.
Pop-up storms, and I think the threat for the heavy rain, Elisa, and the flash flooding has waned considerably as we're looking at the best instability to our north. And I think a lot of cloud cover today will knock down those chances of those big storms, but still widely scattered showers and storms. And any one of those could put down heavy rain in a short period of time. So still be prepared for that. I still think we're looking at an unsettled pattern into Friday with some showers and storms, and then just isolated into the weekend. But then those chances go up again considerably Monday and maybe into a part of Tuesday with a stronger cold front at that time. But it's just lots of clouds, mild and muggy start out there, and maybe a stray sprinkle here and there. You see a little bit of green on the map, but not a big deal out the door this morning. Seeing a lot of clouds. And once again, the best instability and forcing is along this front, which is now lifted a little farther to the north into southern New England. So around Boston, southeast New England, that's where they're getting some of the heavier rain. But for us, it's just a lot of cloud cover. And once again, that cloud cover, not necessarily a bad thing today. It'll keep us a little cooler and once again keep the chances for storms and showers a little lower too. 73 in Delmar, 74 in Georgetown out the door. Bethany Beach 73, Rehoboth 74, and we have a dew point that is pretty close to the actual temperature, so it's still muggy, and that's really not going to change for the next several days. If you want some drier air, it's going to be a while before we see that. We're seeing very light or calm winds right now, so still lots of clouds this morning. Can't rule out a stray sprinkle. By 9 a.m. we're into the upper 70s. I think by the noon hour we could pop a few showers or storms, maybe some of those with brief heavy rain and gusty winds, but I don't think they'll be reaching severe limits. By 3 p.m. still a few showers and storms possible near the coast, so if you see some lightning at the beaches, make sure you head for shelter. And by 6 p.m. still a few showers and storms out there around Milton, perhaps in Ellendale. Once again, maybe some brief heavy rain, but nothing widespread like we saw last night. And as we go through the overnight, a much different scenario. It'll be just cloudy and I think with areas of patchy fog by tomorrow morning. So it won't be noisy and we're not going to be looking at severe weather warnings and looking at temperatures in the 60s and 70s early on. But once again, maybe that fog threat. By noon, we're into the mid 80s and then mid 80s again Friday afternoon. It looks like we do clear it out a little bit as we go into Friday evening. So less stormy at that time, and looking at non-severe storms as we go into the afternoon and the rest of the day. But that said, still that chance of some heavy rain and maybe some gusty winds as that boundary, the stalled out boundary, has lifted farther to the north. So that has taken the brunt of the storms with it, but still we're close enough to that front where we will definitely still see some more showers and storms. That's the case this afternoon. And then again, Friday afternoon, isolated to scattered storms. Then I think into the weekend, just isolated storms, mainly away from the beaches. I think all in all, a pretty good looking weekend on the way, but we could still see pockets of some of that heavier rain. And if you get under one of those heavier storms, maybe ½ inch to about an inch of rain, and really no break from the oppressive humidity. Still very humid through the weekend and into early next week. Around 84 in Harrington later today, in Millsboro with some spotty showers and storms. Easton 82, Vienna 84, and Ocean City 87, Pocomoke City 84. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Friday, not all that bad, 86, a few showers and storms, and then drier into the weekend with mid to upper 80s, mostly sunny by Sunday. And then I think a better chance of storms on Monday with a cold front, 87, then drier and just typical summer warm Tuesday and Wednesday.
Dover officials are discussing Phase 2 of the Dover Industrial Park project. This took place at the city's Development Advisory Committee meeting on Wednesday. The site located on Lafferty Lane is already seeing progress, with Phase 1 currently under construction for a multi-tenant warehouse-style building. Phase 2 would expand the project by adding 2 more buildings to the site. City leaders say the goal is to expand Dover's industrial footprint and create new opportunities for local businesses.
There's an opportunity for either one tenant or multiple tenants to become part of the city of Dover, providing employment opportunities, servicing local businesses, any number of exciting new things for Dover.
And city leaders tell us plans for Phase 2 will go before the Planning Commission in about 2 weeks. That's when a public hearing will be held to gather input in Dover.
Click to cancel. Oops, sorry about that, Elisa.
No problem. Americans could start to see the prices of toys rise this fall. That's according to Hasbro CEO. The company says its main international suppliers are China and Vietnam. The Trump administration has implemented steep tariffs on both countries. Hasbro says it hasn't raised prices yet, but that could be coming in August through October. Hasbro manufactures toys like Play-Doh, Transformers, Candy Lane, and Dungeons & Dragons.
All right, let's get to that click to cancel story. That is a no-go. A U.S. appeals court has blocked a rule that would have required businesses to make it easy for consumers to cancel subscriptions and memberships as it is to sign up. The rule would have applied to everything from gym memberships to digital streaming and e-commerce to cable TV service accounts, but the appeals court said the FTC failed to conduct a preliminary analysis of the cost and benefits of the rule, which is set to take effect next week.
The time is now 5:53, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is adjusting well to his new family. Look at that. On your screen, that's Dexter the Bernedoodle. Dexter is 10 months old and is loving his new life on the coast and the family he gets to spend it with. Dexter was submitted to us by Amanda in Millsboro.
I've seen a lot of Bernedoodles lately. Maybe that's a sign for me. But we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yeah, maybe the next one will be Elisa's new dog. Scan that QR code at the top, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 5:56, and we're going to take another look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Yeah, Bob, looks like tracking a little bit more rain for today.
Well, a little more rain. I think more clouds than showers and storms. You'll see a lot of these. A lot of clouds out there today. A lot of puffy clouds that will yield some showers and storms later on today. I think this morning is just kind of cloudy. Watch for some wet roads. And then into the afternoon, with the heating of the day, showers and storms, some brief heavy rain, gusty winds, certainly a possibility. And it will be cooler with highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm going with a high around 84. Still some scattered showers into your Friday and maybe some heavy rain. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. I think we do dry it out for the weekend. That's good. Maybe an isolated storm Saturday, 87, 86 Sunday, mostly sunny. I think heavier storms Monday with a cold front, 87, and then we have a dry period Tuesday through Thursday, and maybe more storms the end of next week into the following weekend.
Thank you, Bob. And coming up in our next hour, Wild Wednesday weather. We get our second tornado situation in less than 2 weeks, while other parts of the U.S. get another round of heavy rain. That and more when Coast TV News Today continues.